Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Face to Heels. This is episode 11, and tonight we're going to recap the WWE draft. We're also going to talk about the newly made World Championship that WWE made. I'll give you my thoughts on that, and we'll talk more. I want to apologize for last week. We didn't do an episode. Had some stuff to do, but we are back this week. And you know who's also back with me this week? This man right here. He needs no introduction, so we're not going to give him one. No, I'm just kidding. Let me bring in my co-host this evening, Mr. Nick Rosario. Nick, how you doing tonight?
Right. Man? I'm good, Ben. How are you? That's right. I need no introduction, so I never get one. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's good. If you don't know me by now, then you don't. That's all right.
Oh,
some of you probably don't want to know me, so that's okay too.
No, everybody wants to know. Come on, Nick. I mean,
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're the best.
Oh, thanks. That's nice to say. Yeah, exactly. You're right. Backhanded compliments.
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm the king of those. So tonight, Nick, we're going to discuss the WWE draft. We'll recap it. Also, a new title has been introduced.
Yes, a new title.
Be interesting. We'll get into it. Let's do this. The WWE draft recap. As you know, it has kicked off on SmackDown Friday night, and most notably, the people that are going to SmackDown are Raw Women's Champion. That's right, Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. Street Profits going there, and probably one of the biggest shockers of the nights, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are staying on SmackDown.
I didn't see that coming. Wow, what a blockbuster!
Oh, damn it, man! Gotta shock him, damn it! No,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then tonight we had Rhea Ripley and the Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley, the SmackDown Women's Champion. Let me rephrase that: SmackDown Women's Champion going to Raw. Now, are we going to have another title swap like we did Becky and Charlotte? I mean, give me your opinion on this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping wouldn't happen. And I'm guaranteeing you that's what's going to happen because they did this crap last time with Charlotte and Becky. And actually, there was obviously some turmoil there because Charlotte throws the belt at Becky and then you get the whole thing and they're pissed at each other. They apparently haven't been friends since. So who knows? Maybe, Rhea and Bianca will throw belts at each other and we'll have another free-for-all. Who knows? But I just think it's dumb. I mean, because again, for those of you who, don't know about wrestling, it is scripted. So you could have easily just drafted those two to the respective brands they were already on, and you could have just left it at that. But no, you want to do this whole thing where, Bianca goes to SmackDown and Rhea goes to Raw, and but she's the SmackDown champion and she's the Raw champion. So, oh my goodness, what do we do? Well, you're probably just going to switch belts again next Monday, right? Because that's after this takes effect the Monday after Backlash, which is this Saturday. So Monday, March 8th, everybody will officially be on the new shows that they're on or whatever. And fantastic. We'll all be happy. But yeah, I just think it's dumb that they're doing this a second time. But again, that's WWE for you sometimes. What can you do?
Yeah, it's almost like they either are doing this on the fly or I don't know what. I mean, to me, I think it's just going to turn out the same way. I mean, it's, if Lashley, who got drafted to SmackDown, if he shows back up on Raw in a couple weeks, this brand split's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's not a brand, So, I mean, notably, Drew McIntyre's going to Raw. Bobby Lashley going to SmackDown. I like Lashley going to SmackDown. It's a nice little change of pace for him. It's fresh. AJ Styles did come back. Him and the Good Brothers, the OGs.
Yeah.
And Mia Yim. I think Mia, that's a good place to go, SmackDown. Get a little fresh start. So I do like that part. But, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of what we predicted, who and where. And Sammy and Kevin are staying on Raw.
Exactly.
What a shock. They're going to SmackDown. Can you believe it?
The Bloodline stays together for now. Yay. There you go.
Right. And obviously they Cody and Roman. So Cody's
Yeah.
staying on Raw,
Exactly.
Roman's staying on
Yeah.
SmackDown.
That's, Brock can go wherever he wants. Yada yada. Same thing.
Yeah, that's right, because he worked it into his contract.
Contract, right? Brock.
That he's
Brock can go wherever he wants because that's what Brock does. Yes. We know.
Because
so
I got Vince McMahon in my back pocket. What do you think of that?
That's right, damn it. We gotta get Brock. Yeah, okay. Take it easy.
Don't touch him, Triple H. You let me worry about it. Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, are there any good matches you'd like to see on either brand? I mean, that you could say, hey, this is going to be a good one, or.
Well, I won't lie, I like that LA Knight is going to be on SmackDown because I hope that at some point down the line he gets a match with Roman. I'd just like to see it, just for something different, as you say. Because, again, you can kind of predict when you see where the drafts are, like who's going to fight who. Like, obviously, they sent Asuka to SmackDown, so at some point she'll probably fight with Bianca again. You know what I mean? Like, if that happened tonight, for those who aren't aware, Asuka goes to SmackDown tonight. They already started a feud with the Viking Raiders and the OG, and the club or the OGs or whatever you want to call them, with Styles back. But now I've heard that Styles is the next opponent for Roman. So that's what I heard. So now they're both on SmackDown. So you have the AJ versus Roman program, which we've had before. But, why not revisit that? AJ's back. Maybe he's 100%, so he's ready to go. You might see a good match or two there. But yeah, like you kind of just go, you've seen a lot of these matches before. These guys go back and forth. They sent Imperium to Raw, and then kept Butch. Right, and they kept Butch, the Brawling Brutes on SmackDown. So we won't have to see that match again for a long time. But now you think, okay, Imperium, you got the Intercontinental title there. They put Theory on SmackDown, so you got the U.S. title over there. So in a way, it's like, okay, do they continue with Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory? Which, whatever. That's that triple threat this weekend. We'll see what happens there. But they're both on SmackDown, so you might still see some of that. As far as Raw goes,
the three of us.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's the three of us. Me, you, and Scott. He says, "Am I the only one here?"
Maybe, Scott. I don't know.
There will never be a better tag team than Iron
Sheik. Limited Jabronis, Iran, number one. Iron Sheik, number one. Vince McMahon is Jabroni. I am number one. Iran, number one. Yeah, okay. Take it easy, Sheiky. Take it easy, my friend.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, always wave it in. Iran, number one. Iron Sheik, number one. Yeah. I love you. You gotta love your
Here's your friend here.
Oh, there it is. Oh no! After you came for us last night, man. I think Sean's on the warpath. For those of you who missed it, real quickly, Sean and I did a quick thing on the Bears draft, and Ben decided he was going to take over the comment section and decided to, drive the proverbial wedge between Sean and I, as it were, trying to talk some smack and get some stuff going. So I think Sean's ready for his payback.
Ben, you look at that. Sleep. You're getting scared. Oh no, I'm right here.
Here it goes. Now it starts today. That's right. Oh, right here. Whoa, hey now, hey, there we go. It's getting personal in here. Sean may have to fly to Mr. Commander, right? Master and Commander. No, but but yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, we'll see a couple new matches, but I don't think anything that really excites me to the point of going, oh man, that's going to be great. They put Nakamura on Raw, and if tonight's anything, I hope they don't put him in a program with Miz. I don't really want to see that, but yeah, no, he was on Miz TV and blah, blah, blah. And Miz says they should be partners and whatever. And then, it's like dumb idea if they start that one. And again, it's nothing against the Miz because I know Miz is a good worker. I just think Nakamura needs a bigger push. So if starting off with the Miz is just not the way to go, I don't think, but we'll see what happens there.
Well, it just shows you how much they think of Nakamura, the WWE.
Yeah, I would guess so. Yeah, I would guess so, right? It's like we want to push you, but we're not really going to. Sorry, all right?
But you get the Miz.
We'll make it
first program.
Yeah, you get the Miz.
Yeah,
it's Miz. Like I said, what? What are you, Steve Austin? What? Hey, Sean, what?
What?
What? My watch says what? Okay.
What? You know how that came about, right? Back in 2001, where Christian left a voicemail on
Yeah,
Steve
voicemail on his. Yeah, I heard that
said,
story. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's how the whole
So
thing came about.
Austin took it and used it. Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope
see
you
that
believe,
to me
Christian-
too. Also, when you look at the stupidest stuff gets over, like the list with Jericho. You just made a list. Like that's the dumbest thing in the world, but it gets over. You know, what saying what repetitively, everybody cheered that. Like they'd say it with him. Became this huge what? Yeah, what? Exactly. So there you go. Oh yeah.
So the LWO is out here right now. They have the highest.
Well, they got drafted to SmackDown too.
Yeah, and they got the highest selling merchandise right now. Their T-shirts #1 in merchandise.
Well, yeah, Latino World Order, baby. There's a lot of Latinos who watch wrestling, my friend. And when you put a luchador out there with 3 other Mexican wrestlers and Zelina Vega, that's what you're going to get, my friend. The LWO, Latino World Order. Are they still coming out to Eddie's music?
I don't think so. No, not last time I checked.
So they just did that. They just did that for Monday, the last Monday for Raw. Yeah, right. But still, hey, that's still one of my favorite. Hey, that's one of my favorite segments of all time. Price check on a jackass. That was a great one.
Sucker.
hey Booker, got milk? And he pours the milk all over him. Like he beat the hell out of Booker in that grocery store.
Yes was another that got started.
Yeah,
that you never would have thought would catch on. Yeah, the Daniel Bryan
with the yes movement. Yes
movement.
The reason he became champion.
Yeah,
really. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's standing in the ring corner with everybody in the ring chatting yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And ironically, that's when I think that's when CM Punk left. And that's when I kind of started watching wrestling again because I kind of took a dip a little bit. It just at that time the product was just not, it wasn't that great. I mean, I would read the dirt sheets, but I'd watch every once in a while. But it's kind of
for sure.
It's kind of getting to that point again. I mean, we had a good run for the last year. With the Sami Zayn bloodline storyline and stuff like that. But now it's just like, you're kind of seeing it's back to where it was before that. So a little bit, we'll see what happens with the draft. But
right, we'll see after Backlash what they do, what happens with all the new, like you said, matchups. I mean, I think you could kind of predict if you saw what happened today, Ben, that they put Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey on the same show with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So, I wonder what's going to happen at Night of Champions when they wrestle. Oh, I think Ronda and Shayna might win the titles. There you go.
So, I don't know. Raw. I mean, Ronda at this point, I think her star power is pretty much gone. That's partly WWE's fault. They never really, they really never booked her the right way. I think, the second time around, that first time around, she was with, having matches with Alexa and Becky Lynch and Charlotte. All that. Ever since then, her comeback has just been sort of a disappointment. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this.
What are you gonna do?
Turn base. Yeah. Let's see.
Maybe we shall see, my friend.
Hiding in the shadows. Oh, is he?
Hey, maybe. Well, his girlfriend picked up. They picked up a win tonight. There, the old Damage Control.
Oh,
Bailey and Dakota Kai beat the champions in a non-title match. So,
right, and then
there you
Io's gonna face Bianca.
And they're all on SmackDown together, so that's going to probably continue too at some point. So this is what I'm saying. Like you say, you're drafting all these, but you're putting a lot of the same people on the same show. We've already seen these matches. I don't want to see this again. We're something new.
That's the thing, Nick. I mean, it's like, okay, great. Bianca's going to SmackDown. Oh yeah, Damage Control's going there too. Oh, looks like
where's Asuka? It's like they were all on Raw, now they're all on SmackDown. How's that any different? Just because
Right,
you
yeah.
switched them brands, that doesn't make it better. I mean, it's just that's why I say I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to reserve judgment till afterwards.
I'm getting
getting
drunk
drunk
right now, Scott
right
Taylor.
now.
Mind your business. That's Alex Schomburger. Thank you, Alex, for,
So Alec
all the
chimes
shadows.
in. There we go. From the shadows.
Scott goes, Ronda in real life would kick all them ladies' asses. Yeah, I agree. But in wrestling, that's not the case. It seems like lately.
That's why they scripted, sir.
That's right.
But no, but yeah, I mean, obviously, you look at, if a lot of these people fought for real, they probably would get their butts whipped. But that's why it's fun. It's come on, people. Like, wrestling is entertainment now. It's a great thing. Like, I don't know, I love it still.
Yeah.
I've been watching it for 47 years, so it's all good to me, man. It's all gravy to me, buddy. I love it.
Oh,
it's a male soap opera.
Yeah. Did
male,
you watch
male, female soap opera?
I mean, besides the obvious, because where you're from, AWA was the popular territory back then.
But yeah, it was definitely a Midwest territory. I watched all of that. Yeah.
Did you watch Mid-South or like Jim Crockett Promotions or anything like that?
I did. We watched, the Saturday when I was growing up. Saturday, you had World Class Championship Wrestling from Texas, Devon Erickson and all that. Yeah, that was on. We got TV. When we got cable, TBS had, the old NWA, WCW stuff when that switched over to Turner. But yeah, I watched old NWA, WCW. I didn't really see Mid-South too much because I don't think I knew where that was on at the time. I don't know if they were on cable or it was just more regional to Tennessee. But yeah, I watched, obviously AWA I watched all the time. That was one of the main ones because that was on Sundays at like 11 a.m. here in Chicago. So I would always watch AWA, like I said, the WCCW, World Class Championship Wrestling. Obviously WWF at the time. I watched that as well. So I watched about 4 or 5 different wrestling promotions at the time when they still had, the territory system, as it were, and how that went. So yeah, I definitely watched a lot of wrestling back then. I mean, I saw pretty much all the stuff that was on television. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then AWA traveled to Las Vegas quite a bit in the mid to late 80s at the Showboat out here. I would go
at the Showboats, yes. But you know what? By that time, they were on their last leg, though. Honestly, at that point, like it was still like
WWF.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. They did. I mean, I think at one point wasn't Greg Gagne the champion? Like he literally made his son the champion.
No, I think it was actually his son-in-law, Larry Zbyszko, made him the last.
Well, no, I know Zbyszko was champion, but for a while, Greg carried the company because Vern didn't trust anybody else. But yeah, Zbyszko eventually became the champion. Yeah, but I think Greg was champion for a while just because Vern didn't know what else to do because he didn't have anybody.
Well, he put the title on Larry because that was his son-in-law. Oh, hi, hi, Vern. I beat Bruno in Shea Stadium.
And of course, that was the birth of the Midnight Rockers. For those who know, they later became the Rockers. And then Shawn Michaels became Shawn Michaels when he threw Marty Jannetty through the plate glass window. So there you go.
That's right.
Cheeky baby.
AEW or A&E had a nice story about the Iron Sheik this week. Yeah, that was a great documentary.
Was that his biography this weekend? I didn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah. If anybody, if you like the Iron Sheik, check that biography out. Kind of sad too because you know about this. His daughter was murdered, unfortunately, back in the early 2000s, I think.
Yeah. How crazy was that?
I know. Yeah.
Well, I saw the Iron Sheik documentary that was on like Hulu or something. They actually did a documentary on like an actual full length documentary in the Iron Sheik. I watched that. That was crazy.
Okay, yeah, it was. And then our good friend Sean Spencer, WWF Superstars was my jam on Saturday mornings in the late 80s or 90s. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, watching Barry Horowitz and the Brooklyn Brawler lose matches every week. Iron Mike Sharp, like who else was that?
Oh,
right,
God,
the jobbers back then. Barry Horowitz, Barry O, whatever. Iron Mike Sharp.
Yeah, but then they went to the mid '90s. Remember the Superstars and Michael Hayes did that theme song or what that cheesy ass theme song, and that's when it kind of went down. But, yeah,
good old Michael Hayes.
Yeah. Jake the Snake is on oxygen and didn't look too good. Yeah, he's had some health issues lately. I mean, he's been a smoker though pretty much all his life, unfortunately, and not.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
Yeah, that can do that.
I'll tell you, being heavily addicted to drugs, he became, he got clean with Dallas Page, but again, that does affect you long term, and I think he's just probably feeling the effects of some of that now as he gets older.
I got to tell you, man, if there's like a Lifetime Achievement Award, it should go to DDP. You know how many lives this guy's around? I mean,
100%.
Buff Bagwell right now.
Buff Bagwell, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, this guy just really, he's incredible. You got to give the guy credit.
100%.
Either that or wow.
Oh, Women of Wrestling? Or are you talking about Glow? Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling?
Glow. Oh, Glow, dude. Come on now. I mean, everybody watched Glow, right?
I did.
Yes.
I even liked the show on Netflix they did for a couple seasons.
I know. What happened to that? They just canceled it. Just like that.
Yeah, I kind of was sad about that too. Like, 2 seasons, then they canceled. I'm like, no! I like Glow.
Yes, I loved it. Scott Thayer, nothing like wrestling at the Chase in the 60s. That's St. Louis, by the way. Most don't know but St. Louis put wrestling on the map. Oh, yeah. I mean, they were
the territory with Harley Race and all that. Yeah.
Harley Race was there. Lou Thesz. You're talking about
Lou
way back.
Yeah. Yeah. You're talking about way, way back. The good old Lou Thesz press.
Yeah. Yes, it was Glow. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Glow. Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
No, Ivory. Remember Ivory? She wrestled.
She was on there.
Got her start.
Yeah. Lisa, what was her name? She has an Italian name. I forgot what it is.
Is it Moretti?
Lisa Moretti. There you go. Yeah. Lisa Moretti. Yeah. I'm old, my friend. Yes, Scott, we know. We know. It's okay, buddy. That's all right.
That's all right.
We accept all ages here, pal. We accept all ages.
Yeah.
Even the geriatric crowd. You guys are more than welcome.
Johnny's age, but Johnny's age is kind of shout out to
Johnny D. Good old Johnny D. Good old Johnny. Yeah. Shout out Johnny.
Look, so we got introduced to a new world championship last Monday. You were there.
Yeah.
You saw it.
I was, buddy. It was great. You know why? I'll tell you why it was great. Because when you're there live and you're wondering what's coming up next, I don't know what the delay is for television. I think it's about 30 seconds or so, maybe even a minute, where they kind of delay for television in case something happens. So, when you hear, Triple H obviously is a Hall of Famer, he's a very popular guy. So his music hits, he's out to make this grand announcement. But for those of us paying attention, I'm in the arena. So I see them setting up the ring and bringing the belt out. And I'm sitting there next to my dad and my friend going, oh, look, they put a belt out there. Because it's a belt. It's under this cloth. And you're going, oh, it's a new belt, isn't it? So you guys at home are waiting for the announcement. And I'm sitting there going, oh, Triple H is going to announce there's a new belt. Look at that. So I waited for the announcement to see exactly what it was. And he gives the big speech. Chicago crowd went nuts for Triple H. But yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. I get it that Roman now is exclusively to SmackDown with his 2 belts, the Universal, Undisputed, whatever they call it, championship. So now this one is exclusive to Raw, this World Heavyweight Championship, as they're calling it.
Yeah.
And I know that for the longest time, I've probably said that they should split the belts. I think this was a dumb way to do it, to be very honest, just in my opinion. I just thought this was dumb, introducing a 3rd belt at this particular moment. Like, if you really wanted to have a Raw champion, you could have found a way to split the belts from Roman and let him keep one and get the other one to Raw, which is what I thought they might do with the Cody Rhodes thing at some point, but obviously that never happened. But yeah, now you got 3 titles, because unless you're going to unify Roman's title, he's going to be walking around with 2 belts still. And it's, it's the Undisputed, Universal, and then you got the World Champion. I don't know. Whatever. Like I said, they made it. They're going to have the tournament. I'm guessing that Seth Rollins probably wins the belt to start with, and you give it to Seth to be the champion on Raw for a while. That's my guess. That's my prediction, that Seth will be the winner of that match at Night of Champions to become the champion. So I'm going to go with that, because looking at the Raw roster, you're going, who else would you put it on right away? Drew McIntyre, maybe. Nakamura, probably not. So when you look at the big guys, on Raw, who do Cody Rhodes? You could give it to Cody. But I think you're trying to build Cody back up for that rematch with Roman down the line at some point, honestly. So I don't see Cody winning the belt right away either. But again, we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't excited as some people were to see that belt. I was just like, okay, they added another belt just so that they didn't have to take one of the two from Roman. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, let me just tell you right now, Nick, and I'll give you my thoughts on this. And I can tell you right now, WWE backed themselves really in a deep corner.
Seriously,
like,
yes.
What do we do? I mean, we want to give, and the rumor came out this week, I guess, over the weekend. WWE said they want to update their history books, meaning they want to update the history of the title and everything, the reigns and stuff, no pun intended.
Right,
the Roman Reigns. They want to get that 1,000-day mark. They want to make it unique, and I get it. I understand that, but like you said, Nick, the way they went about this. I mean, to me, that title, I hate to say it, Nick, is less than. It's just going to be less than. It's just going to say you can't beat Roman. So we're just going to give you this. This is like the runner-up title, world title, and you might as well
that's what it feels
like. You might as well just make it the Intercontinental title if you're going to go with titles. I mean, it was dumb. And, again, I understand it, but you want to have your own champion on each brand. But like you said, they could have figured out a way they could have come up with a better solution than just what they're doing now. And it was
just inventing a new belt. Yeah.
Right. So, and now you're going to put it on Rollins. Well, great. But supposedly that's going to be the guy to do it. But again, he's going to feel like he's more of an Intercontinental champion than the actual world champion. You know what I mean? It's just like,
no, 100%. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I thought this was a dumb way to do it. Was just inventing another belt. So for that, why don't we just invent another set of tag team titles for SmackDown? Or let Sammy, because Sammy and Kevin are on Raw, so now they get to go back and forth because of the champions, like it's always been with these drafts. Well, the champions can go wherever because there's only one set of champions. Like the women's tag team champions, they're on Raw. So do they get to go to SmackDown and have the women's tag teams fight from there? They just, I don't know. Raw, WWE sometimes does things I just go, what are you doing? Why would you do that?
Well, yeah, I mean,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And I guess the other big story, speaking of Raw in Chicago last week, an old friend showed up before the show last week backstage. And that person was from Chicago. One Phil Brooks.
Phil Brooks, right. CM Punk.
But he did show up to Impact too, which was ironically in Chicago this past weekend. Trinity,
correct.
Fatu made her debut. Yes, the husband of Jimmy Uso is now in Impact. So I like it. Good for her. I mean, I think that's going to elevate their women's division, the knockout division over there. Deonna Purrazzo's the current champion. There. Jordan Grace and Mickie James right now. So that's a nice little division they got in Taylor Wilde.
Yeah.
A nice little division they got there in Impact. So good for Trinity. I know Mercedes was there backstage, congratulating her. They're good friends. So big weekend in Chicago this past week. You had Raw and then you had Impact.
100%.
I'm sure in September All Out's going to be back there. So yeah,
probably. Probably.
Did you
Well, actually, yes. Go ahead, sir.
I was going to say.
June 17th. They're playing that big show. Yeah.
Do you make it's a CM Punk thing just no big deal, or do you think maybe it's kind of a why did you have to do that if you're still under contract with AEW? Does that kind of big slap in the face to you, AEW? Or
here's the thing with that, and I think because it's CM Punk, this gets magnified 100-fold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people when you go to a hometown where guys come back and visit if they live in that hometown. Like if you pass through, St. Louis, You might get, people who St. Louis who used to work for the company to come and say hi to everyone. Now, again, it's CM Punk, so the rumors start flying. But literally, he was very cordial. When he was asked to leave, he left. He talked to The Miz real quick. He talked to Triple H real quick. And when he was asked to leave, he left. He didn't cause a problem. He didn't make a big stink. He said, okay, I'll leave. No problem. I was just here to say hello to a few people, that sort of thing. So, I mean, but of course, when you see a guy like CM Punk and go, oh, he's backstage at Raw, what does that mean? Oh my goodness, what is happening? He's got he's under contract with AEW. Does this mean he's coming back to WWE? Blah, 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 blah. No, it actually doesn't really mean any of that. It could simply mean that he came, it was in his hometown. As I said, he was on a flight back from Orlando with a bunch of people from the WWE and one of the agents. And that's how he got in. He came in with them because he knew these people from before. And so he came in, said hello to a few people, and left when he was asked to. Didn't cause a stink, didn't make any, So, yeah, it's just what it is. It was in his hometown. They probably said, yeah, you should stop by and say hello because they were on the plane with him flying back. I don't make a big deal out of it. He's, like you said, he's still under contract to AEW. They're building this whole thing around him for that big show on June 17th here in Chicago to start the new AEW TV show. And that's probably when Punk is going to re-debut again. So, I mean, I don't read anything into it. Again, if he wants to come back to WWE at some point, I'm sure they'll talk about it and it'll probably happen. Because as you know, as they always say, it's what's good for business. And everybody knows that even to this day, if you mention the name CM Punk anywhere, people go crazy, especially here in Chicago. They go nuts. I mean, they still chant CM Punk at every show, knowing he's not, And so especially when he was there Monday, people were like, CM Punk, like, shut up, Bird. He's not coming on the show. Like, and after a while, they started a woo chant at some point. I'm like, all right, Flair's not here either. Cut it out. Yeah. Then they start chanting CM Punk, and you're like, all right, it's enough for you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what are you going to do? That's the crowd, buddy.
Scott Staler
No, Brooke Hogan never wrestled.
Wife or daughter ever wrestled? Well, Brooke wrestled me one time.
You wish. You wish, Bill. Look at Ben. Yeah, you wrestled Brooke Hogan, did you?
Yeah. I wish.
All right. Sorry. You're hilarious, Ben.
AEW is a circus. WWE is real. Well, I think they're both circuses and they're both real. So.
Okay. Go, way to go, Scott. WWE is real. Real what? Real full of it? Is that what you're going to say?
People are nuts filling 80,000 plus seats. Well, look, I don't know if they'll get to 80,000, Scott. They might not, but I got to say, I think they can get 60, at least 60 to 70. I mean, it's because it's the first time there. AEW is making their debut in Europe. So the demand's going to be high no matter what because it's a company they've never seen before. WWE, they're going to be back once or twice a year. So I think for this initial run, they will get about at least 60,000. I'm going to predict at least 60,000. What do you think, Nick? Is that kind of right on the mark there? About 60,000?
Well, especially if you have Punk on the program. Like, he'll probably be on the card. So you'll have this big, Punk is going to headline this.
Maybe they bring in
Mercedes. They could do that too, because apparently, there's talk that she may go to AEW. So could you imagine, you debut her in London, you got Punk in the main event with somebody or whatever, it would be interesting to see what they do. Like, again, here's the thing too. I mean, the more I think about it, like I said, I thought they'd have trouble filling the stadium as well, to be very honest with you. But I'm sure they did a little homework and figured, well, there's an interest for this. If we do this right, we could probably at least, like you said, get about 50 to 60,000 people in there to see what we have to offer. So, I mean, I think they'll be okay. Like I said, they'll do what they need to do to draw the people in and make it a successful show. And like I said, I'm sure it'll be fine and everybody will be happy and that sort of thing. So, these things tend to work themselves out for the most part.
Well, that's going to be the key too, Nick, is that they do need to give us something good. You can't just, okay, we're going to throw this guy here. We're going to put this woman right here, this stuff. They need to have some good matches. And I feel like they're not going to build it just yet because we're only in May. This show's going to be end of August. So I would figure after the Forbidden Door pay-per-view in late June, I believe, in Toronto, AEW New Japan, they're going to start rolling out the storylines and we'll see what they do. I mean, this is got to hit, Nick. I really believe this has to hit for them because if they do well with this, they're going to be good globally for a while. Internationally, they're going to,
for sure,
start to pick up some steam. And I think this is a good idea. Doing it in a stadium, I mean, it's pretty risky, but I think for being a first-time company that's going overseas, that's good. I think it's the logical way to go. As long as they build up matches fans want to see, and storylines that they're interested in, not just every week just see matches for tope suicidas and flips and stuff like that don't get over. That's. I'm sorry. I
hear you totally. It's
I don't like that philosophy of we're going to get over with this independent type of wrestling on a big platform. I think they got
big scale, right? Exactly.
Better in stories. I think ever since Cody left, that's what's been lacking is true storylines, and because that's one of the things that I believe Cody left was because like him and the other EVPs, the Bucks, Omega, they probably had a different philosophy, and Cody is like, okay, I'm gonna go do it in WWE, go back, and there we are. So good luck to AEW. I hope they do well, but they got to do something big.
For sure. Right. For sure. I agree. 100%.
Speaking of WCW, all the Von Erichs dead? No. Kevin's the only one still alive. He's in Hawaii. Yeah. He lives there. But his sons, Ross and what's his name? The other guy. It's Ross and
I don't remember the other
name, but they're a popular tag team in MLW, and I believe they've been on AEW once or twice wrestling.
Have they? Okay.
Marshall. It's Marshall and Ross Von Erich. A dynamic tag team. I think probably the reason why they haven't gone to the WWE is they're not the best promo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not that charisma on the mic like their dad did, or like David Von Erich did, the oldest brother.
David. David was good.
Yeah, but if you go on YouTube, Ross and Marshall, watch some of their matches. They are a great tag team. I think they could be a nice tag team in AEW. They AEW could use a tag team like that. Just a very athletic tag team. They're a bunch of good-looking guys. So you could tell they got their father's genes. I mean, you can tell they're Von Erich.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, the Von Erich.
Kerry was the best. Yeah, I think Kerry was the most over. He went to WWE as he was the Texas Tornado back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Because obviously WCCW was being bought out by, I believe it was USWA, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah. Jerry Jarrett, yeah.
Yeah, so they were like, okay, well, Kerry, go make your mark, in WWE. He had a good run there. He was the Intercontinental Champion.
Right, he was that, yeah.
Yeah, so it was the Von Erichs were them and the Freebirds, the 80s. That's what made me love wrestling, was that realness.
Yeah, the Freebird rivalry with the Von Erich, yeah.
Right, it wasn't so cartoonish like WWE was. This was kind of real. I mean, the Von Erichs, Freebirds, you had Iceman King Parsons, you had Skandor Akbar's Devastation Incorporated.
Gino Hernandez, handsome half-breed. You had Chris Adams.
I wish Gino would have still stayed alive during the 80s.
Yeah, well,
you know how big he would have been? Like, that guy was probably the best heel I've ever seen.
He had some issues there, my friend. Yeah.
He did. but he was getting there. He was getting close to being that.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
He would have done good anywhere. WWE, WCW. He would have done great. And the guy had it. That's what kind of MJF reminds me of. It's kind of like a Gino Hernandez. That heel,
that cocky,
you just want to punch him in the mouth, kind of, stuff.
Exactly.
That was the best. The brothers died of a strange stomach virus or eating blowfish. Well, that was David. He was in, I believe it was Japan. He went on a tour there.
There's some mixed stories though about that. Wasn't there? Like I heard one report that he got into a fight in the locker room and he hit his head on something and that caused something. Like there was a story like that for a while. But what did he actually die of? Do we know?
It was like some kind of stomach ailment. Like, they found him dead in his hotel room, just like laying there, like on his stomach or something. That
okay.
And, like I think in the documentary, I think the WWE produced one. Kevin was like, he just had this vision in his mind, like, please, David, don't go out there to Japan. Something bad was going to happen.
Okay.
So it did, unfortunately, because he was going to be the NWA World Champion, if you remember.
Yeah, he would have been the next one. Yeah.
But then, obviously, they gave it to Kerry, which, he had problems as well. I mean, he, like David, they just couldn't. Kerry was more drug related. He was in the drugs, in the steroids and stuff like that. So, and then Mike wrestled, and then he had that injury in Israel, I believe, where he got kicked in the shoulder or something, and it just turned out a socket, but it had an infection where it went over his body, and it was a miracle, like he survived. And then I think a few years later, he just killed himself.
Unfortunately, committed suicide. Yeah.
And then the younger brother, I think it was Chris Von Erich, he
did the same thing.
Yeah, but he was like maybe 5'2", 5 foot. I mean, he just wasn't.
He was the smallest of them, and it wasn't really going to work for him. And I think maybe that got to him. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was
But regardless,
very tragic story.
Yeah. So, Scott, seek help, please.
Alrighty then,
Mr. Schomber, right there. I'm sorry that he's getting close to you, but oh man. So Nick, right now tonight, obviously this is going to be the last Raw before Backlash.
Yeah.
Why don't we just go over it real quick? I mean, we got the main event. Bad Bunny and Rey Mysterio going up against Dominic and Mr. Damian Priest.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think they're going to give it to Bad Bunny and Mysterio to win that match. I think Dominic will take the pin.
No, the match for Backlash is just Damian Priest and Bad Bunny in a street fight.
I thought it was a tag team. Did they change it or?
You didn't see the Raw last Monday. Bad Bunny comes out at the end, and Priest starts beating up Damian Priest with a kendo stick, and then he jumps on the announce table and gives him his. Damian, I tell you next week I come to Puerto Rico. I don't come to host. I come to kick your ass. So he had that whole thing. I know I'm doing a Bad Bunny horrible accent, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. In his bad accent, he tells Damian Priest he's going to kick his ass in Puerto Rico. So it's officially a San Juan street fight between Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. We'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Nick, thank you for the correction there. So it is Bad Bunny against Damian Priest fight. Also, we got Cody and Brock. I think we're going to keep a continuation of this. I could see maybe a disqualification or something
easily.
Sweet. Yeah. We got
pretty
Bianca
much. I think that's
defending the
Io Sky,
whatever you want to call it. Yeah, going up against one of those titles against Io Sky. I'm going to go Bianca. I mean, she's going.
And Rhea fights Selena Vega. I'm sure Rhea beats Selena Vega. So
and then it's going to be Sammy KO and Bro Matt Riddle. Man, we hang out every day now. Like we're all on the same brand, bro. Like
I know. I saw that. I was like, this guy.
good. I could see the Usos and Solo winning that match. Something's gonna happen. They'll probably cheat to win this match, and
No,
then
see, I don't think so. I think this continues the storyline of the Usos separating from the bloodline. I think somehow they lose this match. And
They
they
lose
blame
it?
it on Jimmy or Jay. Roman blames it on Jimmy or Jay for losing because, Jimmy lost tonight to Riddle. And then
Yeah.
he comes back and goes, "Why wasn't Solo out there today?" Jay says, "Why wasn't Solo out there?" And they're doing this whole thing where they're slow, even though they're both drafted to the same show. I think
Right.
they're trying to set this thing up where they separate from them or something or whatever. And you got this big family feud or I don't know, whatever. But I somehow think that Riddle, Owens, and KO win this match.
Okay.
Yes, Scott Taylor, he is. He is a rap artist. That is correct.
I'm kind of annoyed with Riddle. I miss Randy Orton. Yeah, I do too. Back injury, again, it's
You may never see him again, Sean.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, same with Robert
You may never
Roode.
see him again.
Bobby Roode, he just had a fusion surgery in his back, and he's going to
They
be out.
say he's out for all of 2023.
Yeah, so that's a shame because he's such. I don't get it. I mean, I think he's a very talented guy. I just think
and he's got the best entrance.
Yeah, glorious. Yeah,
glorious. Oh, I won't give in. Oh, sorry, don't sing it. We don't want to get sued. Copyright. But
that was
supposed to be entrance.
Yeah, Nakamura's. That was supposed to be Nakamura's original NXT debut theme, but they went with something else, which I'm glad. Obviously, Nakamura's theme.
Roode does a great entrance with that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And Scott goes, Sean Spencer, I think Bad Bunny describes the Commander's draft choices.
Oh, wow. Now they're throwing shade at Sean. Mercy.
Man.
Hello. What is going on, people? Right. Everybody's just throwing left and rights and uppercuts and whatever else is going on here. What's happening?
Yeah, and then we got Seth freaking Rollins coming out. He's fighting Solo tonight on Raw.
Well,
yeah, thinking about what you just said, Nick, I think we could see that. We could see the cracks are already falling, and yeah, like you said, Riddle and Sammy and KO get the win, and then now we go to a storyline with the bloodline, just the bloodline. We could see that. So,
yep. Roman continues to be upset that they can't win, and there you go. Starts deciding to take them. John. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think what he's trying to say is, I'm just trying to get to the show PR.
Oh, PR.
Oh, okay.
PR. Okay. Well, thank you,
some
Scott.
PR. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate that, Scott.
Well, thank you, Scott. That's very nice.
Like I said, like, share, and subscribe to the show, man. That helps me out. That helps Nick. It helps everybody out. Spread the word.
Yeah, for sure. We get,
tag team.
Oh, wow. Nick and I versus Ben and Scott. Look at that. Oh, wait out. Can we do that in Las Vegas, though? We go to like the MGM Grand and get that going?
Oh, I'd say let's do Allegiant Stadium, man. Hell, let's get.
There you go. Right. We'll sell it out, baby. We'll sell it out, baby. Allegiant Stadium. Tag team action.
You don't want none, Scott Taylor. Ooh,
Scott. You don't want none. There you go.
I'm telling you right now. Let's go. Yes. Let's go.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Gotta love it, man. Well, I'm going to tell you, Nick, this was a fun. Oh, no disqualification, too. I even like that.
Oh, well, there you go. No holds barred.
Yeah.
With a kitchen sink match or whatever. We'll just throw everything in there.
Well, Nick, this has been a fun episode tonight. I appreciate you coming on. Why don't you promote yourself?
Okay. Well, tomorrow night, the Round Table is back for a draft recap show. So you can catch us tomorrow night, the Round Table. I think we're going to start around 7:30 Central Time. So that's 8:30 Eastern and 5:30 Pacific, right? Yeah. Something like that, 5:30 Pacific, right. So catch us tomorrow. You can catch me there. Again, you see me here as much as I can be with my boy Ben here on the Face the Heels program. And again, I pop up here and there. I've been on NFL Edition. I'm sure I'll be back with the boys at some point. So, yeah, I'm around. You'll see my face. Appreciate you guys all watching and commenting, subscribing, liking everything. Thank you so much for all the love. Appreciate that. And Ben, as always, thank you for having me on. I totally enjoy talking wrestling at any time. So I love this. Thank you.
Awesome. Nick, thank you for coming on, man. I think if I saw your schedule, I think next week you won't be available. I think you got the Cubs at home, I guess, for a series.
I have a Monday night game next week, but after that, I got like 10 or 11 days off, so I should be good after that, right?
Okay, well, we'll definitely get you back on then, man. So, everybody, with that being said, Sean Spencer says good stuff, guys. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love.
Right. Scott, Alec,
right, Scott,
whoever chimed in today.
Alec, and be nice to Alec, okay? He's quite sensitive. All right, everybody. A fun show. We will be back I'll be back next week for another edition of Face the Heels, episode 12. Guys, and by the way, I want to say this Thursday night and Friday night, I will not be available on the NFL edition, taking the day off there. Got some stuff going on. And then this Friday, have at it. We're taking a little break. I'm celebrating Cinco de Mayo, the Mexican Independence Day. So I'm just kidding. I'm celebrating something else, but you'll probably know what that is by the time we get to Fridays. So with that being said,
right.
Okay, we can't end the show yet. Look at this guy. Ben, if you can't run in your mouth, we will have problems. Or if you keep running your mouth.
I think that's what he was trying to say. If you keep running your mouth, we will have problems.
Come on, Sean.
Sean's in it to win it, man. I'm telling you. He's all in, buddy. He's a JS. Yeah, JS. Just say it, right. Can't keep.
Equals keep.
Yeah, equals keep. That's what he meant to say, right.
Right.
There it is.
Autocorrect. Gotcha, Sean. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a good night, and we will see you next time on Face the Heels right here on the Ben Zone and the social media. There's my social media handles, and more importantly than that, please like and share this show. Tell everybody, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors, tell the dogs, tell the cats, whoever, to subscribe to this show. So with that being said, guys, we are out, and we'll see you next time here on Face the Heels. Have a good night.